Let's talk about images. So there's a couple things that you really want to make sure that you do when collecting images. First thing is make yourself a new folder, whether you're doing it in your Google Drive or you're doing it on your desktop. Either way is perfectly fine. What I'd recommend doing is make sure that your magazine spread InDesign document is saved in the exact same folder. So what that means is if you don't have your InDesign document in a folder already, make a new folder. Move the InDesign document into that folder and then save all your images you want to use in that same folder. You need to make sure that your InDesign document is closed if you're moving the file. So again, make a new folder, save your images into that folder, and save your InDesign document into that folder. That's the first part. Second part is when we go in here, I want to show you so that you download the highest quality version of an image possible. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my image search over here for Google. Now I love Unsplash. That would be my first source to go to because it's really, really big. The images that are available are high quality and high resolution. The only problem is there's not going to be necessarily a lot of, like famous people or specific sports teams or stuff. So you may not have all of the options that are available here, but you can take a look. They've got different categories. There's current events, kind of scary. There's fashion, film. So these are a little bit more abstract, but might be great for big, giant images. Because in order to have an image that's going to fill up an entire spread, you're going to need a pretty big image. So that would be one place to go. So let me show you an example. I'm just going to go ahead and grab experimental for a background texture or something. That looks pretty good. I kind of find that rule of third images work really well for setting up an opening spread because you've got somewhere for the text to go. Portrait view is really tricky if you're going to go across two pages. So I would recommend trying to find something that's landscape, not necessarily a landscape, but landscape mode that's longer than it is tall. So I'm going to grab this one. I'm going to download that. Now, what ends up happening is when you download, like mine, it goes directly into my downloads folder. That is a horrible spot for you to save your files because oftentimes the downloads folder gets wiped out, especially at school. If it becomes too full, that's the area the district starts to erase things. So what I'd recommend is make sure once you have it downloaded, first thing is change the name. So this one I'm going to do as sky and tree. So it makes more sense to me because I'm going to download a lot of pictures and I'm going to drag it inside of that magazine spread folder. All right. Now, let me show you using just Google what settings to change. So first thing is you can go in, switch over to images, and you can type in what you're looking for. So I don't know what I'm looking for. I'm going to look up, for whatever reason, gas mask. Why? Let's see. I'm going to actually, no, I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead and change this to my go-to pugs. All right. So, adorable pugs. Heck yeah. Okay. So I'm going to go to adorable pugs and I'm going to go to tools and I'm going to go to size and I'm going to go to large. That's going to help me. It may not be large enough to fill the entire spread, which might be an issue, but we can try. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that one as large, but as I go through to find images, I'm not going to copy this one. Notice in the corner, it's giving me a screen size. So it's 10 or 2048 pixels by 1365 pixels. That's decent size. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep clicking on this. I'm going to go to open image in new tab. And I'm going to keep going like that until I can't click anymore. So that's a pretty good size image. So I'm going to save that image. I'm going to call that one Flower Pug. And I'm going to come over here to my magazine spread. and I'm going to save it. All right. So you'll continue to do the same things as you're finding stuff. Maybe I'm developing this flower theme. Notice this one's much smaller. Now here's the problem. I can already tell this one's going to be an issue. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to go to Open Image in New Tab. Actually, that one's not bad. I said video, so I thought it might be a problem. The reason that we're doing the Open in New Tab and we keep going until we can't zoom in anymore is that's going to guarantee that you're getting the largest version of that photo. If you grab this photo instead, watch what happens. I'm going to do save image as. I'm going to call this one small pugs. And I'm going to, this time I'm going to do open image in new tab. And I'm going to save this one. Bigger pugs. Show you the size difference. On your computer screen, it's not going to be as noticeable. In fact, why is this one interesting? Usually that ends up showing that there's a significant size difference, and I'm not sure why that one's not, but let me try it again with this one. So save image as. All right, let's take a look at those two. Ah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. These two just happen to be, for whatever reason, the same exact size. But look at this one. This first one was the one that I downloaded that was just the little preview. And what I mean by preview is I mean this one right here. I just saved this small picture that's right here. But when I went to open image in new tab, that opened up the much larger version. Look at the size difference between that one is 8 kilobytes versus this one, 849 kilobytes. That's a significant difference, a huge difference, especially when we're going to work with a file size that's much larger for our magazine spread. So that's the key thing. I, again, recommend all your pictures into one folder, not your downloads folder. Name the pictures something that makes sense to you. And make sure that your InDesign document gets saved in this folder as well. If you run into problems or have questions, please let me know. I'll totally help you out.